Tuesday, September 26th, not the 25th, because we're not living in the past. We're moving forward into the present. We're going to go over the quiz issues in just a moment. For those of you who need to retake a thing, we're going to help you with the retaking of the thing. Thursday of this week, we have... excuse me. It's okay, you got burping. College Outfit Day is getting ready for the B points / house points. So if you wear college stuff on Thursday, we get B points and house points for you wearing stuff. If you don't have college stuff, then you're not wearing college stuff. Unless you find a kid in the hallway to mug. If you can mug a slightly smaller person and take their stuff and then cram them into a locker and not get caught, then you can probably get away with it. But the chances of not getting caught might be kind of tough. Hashtag life goals. And then you've made entry into your table of contents, because that's going to disappear, and we're going to move forward to help you out from there. There's only so many things we can do. All right. My goal with today's homework is you should get it done before you leave. I mean, we have 10 questions. Most of you will hopefully get done with all 10. If not, you might get through 7 or 8. But worst case, you have test today, and you can finish like the last couple of questions. This is for Thursday, where you have to read story about Priscilla, girl who gets in fight and goes punch, punch, smack, smack. So make sure you have read it for quiz coming up, because we're going to connect that to quiz from this past week to try and help you. I will keep reminding you to read a thing, but if you show up Thursday and have not read a thing, I can't do much to help you. And then hopefully you still do well with irony, because that'll be on the quiz. I'm just going to talk about irony in class quite a bit moving forward and stuff like that. If you struggle or are confused on irony, let me know, and I'll say that's very ironic. Then, before we deal with homework, let's go over quiz. If you got a 22 or higher on quiz, you can retake it, but you can't raise your grade. If you got lower than a 22, which in this class was roughly 15 of you, then you can retake it and get up to a C- if you got a D or an F. Will that help your grade? Yes. This is your biggest grade, and if you flunkinated it, it definitely hurt your grade. And now we can unflunkinate it, because I'm going to give you the answers to 12 of the 15 questions, because 12 of the 15 questions we struggled on. So, moving forward in my class, this is what our quizzes are like every week. This was how I do my quizzes. I want you to do well on my quizzes. Looking at them, you're not dumb. You guys just were dumb answering questions, but you're not dumb. You just didn't take time to read them or look through them and stuff like that. Because as we go through it, almost every time we get to an answer, kids are going to go, oh, well, yeah, that's obviously the answer. I'll be like, well, why didn't you put that down? They'll go, I don't know. Well, my goal is to prevent the I don't knows. So we can try to help you to make you so much smarter. But if you want to retake it, when I get done, and you don't remember the answers, there's a video. And you can look at right here, the video in front of the camera. So you can just watch video. Video! Oh, did you hit your head in the hallway?
Yeah, I hit my head every day.
Yeah, she hit her head on the trash can earlier.
No, because he tripped me. He literally, he was back in his chair and he tripped me.
You thought I cared. It's okay. And so you can watch video there to try and help you out. So let's go through and look at questions to try and help you. Question 1. We had issues on that one. What is the best external conflict from the story fun they had? Well, 1, if you didn't read story, then I can understand why it would be tough. For those of you who did, let's back up. What's the definition of external conflict?
The fight for something versus something.
Something versus something, things that fought in the story. So going through it, there's only 2 that really kind of work, because Tommy never fights the book. That's my fake answer to entertain myself. Margie barely talks to her mom. So it comes down to Tommy versus Margie, and Margie versus the computer teacher. One of those 2 she actually argues with. The other one she just doesn't like. Which one does she argue with?
Tommy.
Yeah.
Hey,
There's only one that she argues with. She doesn't like the computer teacher, but she doesn't fight with it in any way. Basically Tommy calls her a big dumb idiot. And so that's when they have like their little issue where they fight back and forth. So that's what I'm looking for the external conflict. 2, we did all right on. So 3, which of these statements is not an important part of the plot? What's the definition of plot?
What happened?
One of these is not answering what happens. One of these is answering who is in the story. I gave you something that wasn't even plot. It was one of the other elements. Which one of these is a character?
Tommy. Boom!
All of the other ones tell you things that happen. Tommy finds a book. Margie discovers things. Margie goes to school. Margie talks to her. Tommy is a young... It's just a statement telling you a
Those
character
are all
description.
words. They're all actual words.
Look at you.
Boom!
You gotta hit your head more often. And so hopefully that'll help you, or not. And so hopefully that's what I'm looking for you to figure out. You know this, you just have to slow down, read it, and think. You did well on questions 4 and 5. So we'll jump to number 6. This one drove me nutter butter. On this one, it said, in fun they had, when is the best setting? There are multiple wins and settings. There's more than one answer that can work. One word answer. Here's why this one drove me nuts. I said, when is the best setting? The number one answer for this was Margie's house.
I didn't put that.
I put future.
Yeah, I put future.
So
I did too.
Margie's house was wrong on 2 reasons. Why
It's
is
2
that
words.
wrong?
It's
Two
not a
words.
win.
It's 2 words, and it doesn't answer when.
It's a
It was like you doubled down on getting it wrong. And you're like, I'm going to get it twice as wrong. So I wanted you to tell me when. The whole story was taking place, and it says like May something 2157. Compared to today, when is that?
Future.
That's all I wanted. To know that the story takes place in the future. I wasn't trying to trick you. I just wanted you to read story and go, oh, computer teachers, she has to do IXL all day? Ugh, that must be in the future. You could have put 2157. I would have accepted that also. But I just wanted you to see the fact that it takes place in the future. Number 7, point of view in the story, the fun they had. On this one, I don't think you guys read all of the answers. I think that's what the problem came down to. Because most of you chose third person omniscient. That was like the vast majority on this one. But it says it follows both Tommy and Margie, and neither has a scene by themselves. Do you remember what the whole second half of the story is?
Margie
Doing what?
And
talking about her school life
Where is she?
at home.
Who's with her?
Mom,
Herself.
Tommy.
It's
Me,
her
myself,
sitting by herself in a room talking about how boring school is.
So it
Cannot be this one if she literally has the whole second half of the story by herself. Is Tommy in every scene?
No.
No. Is she telling us the story?
No.
Yeah.
Are you a ghost?
No.
So it came down to only one thing. So it's like, you guys know these answers. I just don't think you guys spent time thinking about the answers. But you know this stuff. It's not like it's confusing. I think. I mean, if I'm straight up, if I'm wrong, please tell me. I mean, my goal is to change it to help you. I want you to do well. I don't want to be mean to you. I just think that you guys are smarter than you gave yourself credit for. I think a lot of you guys took this and were like, oh my God, I got an F. I'm an idiot. You're not an idiot. You didn't take time taking the test, but you're not dumb. You guys know this. 8, from the fun they had. It says, which of these internal conflicts actually occurs in the story? I think this one might have been a little bit tougher. I think this one's legit. First off, what's an internal conflict?
Something with
Or
Getting.
Something.
Make
a decision on the story.
It's crazy how that helps.
Boom.
So in there, they all have or, because I'm past my easy quizzes where I wouldn't put or in there. So now they all have or. So now you had to figure out things that actually happened. Well, the teacher's a robot, so it can't be that. The mom never talks about pencils, so that leads you to either Margie or Tommy. Tommy throwing the book away or keeping it, Margie reading the book or ignoring it. Only one of those even kind of happens in the story. Because Tommy never talks about throwing the book away. He thinks the book is the greatest thing in the world. But when he talks to Margie, she's the one that says, what? Reading? Reading's for idiots. Who's going to read a book? You know, the same thing you guys tell me on a daily basis. So that is where she had the same internal conflict that you guys have. Read the story ahead of time or ignore it.
I thought it was
Apparently a lot of you guys went with ignore it. And then we found out it came back to haunt you.
I thought it was the imposter killed the creature.
I still did. I got all these right.
Did you guys see?
Yeah, she bragged about it because she didn't read the story, but she was a good guesser.
But no, I just read it while I was doing it, and I still didn't.
I read the book 6 times. I swear, with my mom.
Question
With your mommy.
9. from the fun I had. So this one also frustrated me for a different reason. This one said, from the fun they had, which line from the story would best work as a reason to prove that the kids may not want to have robots as their teachers? This is going to require you to think and understand the story in order to answer it accurately. You guys did well on this question. The question that I put in there to make you think and be tough was the one you did well on.
Actually,
Do you know how frustrating that is for me when I give you easy questions that you miss,
That's
and I throw in a tough question to make you think, and almost all of you guys get the tough question right?
Wait,
What you're telling me is, I need to give you more tough questions and avoid the easy questions unless you guys prove me wrong moving forward. So in here, because does she like sitting and doing IXL all day in the story? No, like you guys, she hates it. She would much rather have school with teachers who get to yell at her and make fun of her. So which of those statements connects to her thinking that it must have been fun back when you had teachers yelling
Kids
at
must
you?
have loved it in the olden days.
Yeah, that's the one.
oh, I put that.
By the
I
way,
too.
Me too.
when was the old days?
Like
2023 right now. The
Right
present.
now, there you go.
Boom.
And that's what she was talking about, is you guys are the old days and having a teacher who gets to stand up and make fun of you and
I wanna
stuff
be a
like that.
They really want that.
What? Teachers who make fun
I
of you?
would. I would
No.
much rather this than
And
that.
a robot? Heck
For
yeah.
real.
Yeah, I don't want no Karen. I don't want no robot Karen.
You realize you all have a robot sitting on your desk.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah, but it's not like a robot.
And then also if you have
Us like stealing
I found the robot.
We found something. Number 10. From the
That's so
story,
neat.
The Voices. This is one I have given to kids in the past. Kids routinely miss this one because it requires you to think, and that seems to be a bit of a struggle. It says, where do we discover most of the story actually took place? 60% of you put, what is it? Hospital room.
Huh?
But here's the problem. Beginning of the story, how's the story start off? Dream world, because what just happened?
Car crash.
Car crash.
And then the voices are talking about being dead, so is he in the hospital bed?
No.
Where is he?
He's in a dream. He's in a coma.
Good. But where is his physical body?
At the bedroom. Come on now.
Not
In
the
the
ambulance?
hospital.
Nope.
The
In the bedroom.
In the car.
There you go.
Hospital.
We even talked about it in class. The fact that he was still in the car because he. Why does he not die?
Cause he's.
Because he has a seatbelt on.
Remember the things we read?
Oh, I just
And so-
guessed.
Yeah, well, sometimes the brain works that way. And so he's not in a hospital at the beginning, so it cannot be the whole thing is in a hospital room.
Oh, I didn't see
If you can, yeah, that's why I put it again.
I
Go
just
to
saw
bed. Rest
hospital.
your head, dream.
This is where a lot of you, I put questions on there to make you read, and this is where a lot of you went. What happens if we don't read? I think your grade just showed you. So here it's taking place in his dream imaginary world, because it's all different places. 12. You did well on 11. In the story, Sam wakes up from a dream in which his family was in a horrible car wreck and it felt very real. Well, in the story, you guys know the mountain? What's the first part of the mountain?
The exposition.
Rising action.
Falling action. Resolution.
I beat you.
So,
I beat you.
in that mountain, where does this happen? Sam wakes up from a dream in which his family was in a horrible car wreck.
Climax.
Falling action.
So hang on.
No, rising action.
Beginning,
Rising
middle, or end?
Because it's kind of like starting to get like.
No, the falling, the end.
Yeah, the end.
It's the end. Come on. It's the
It's
falling action.
It's all about the end.
Silly. What happened?
No. Let's see. The story starts with, "Ah!" The loud scream woke Sam from his sleep, is the first sentence. What does that say? So when does this happen in the story?
The exposition.
Yeah, literally the first sentence of the story. What is the first sentence of the story? Exposition. Is exposition on here?
No.
You all who kept putting rising action and resolution, this is the first line of the story.
What were we supposed to put?
That's what I'm trying to get to. That's where the learning comes in.
Irony.
So if it's not resolution and it's not rising action, that
Irony.
means Had I taught you irony last week?
Wait, what?
No,
What?
so it can't be irony.
It's foreshadowing.
So it leaves with internal and foreshadowing.
It's foreshadowing.
What is an internal conflict?
A decision.
Is this a decision?
Now I forgot what foreshadowing.
So literally, you have notes you can use.
Yeah, but that one was really hard.
So again,
Dude,
this
I'm
is where
totally not watching.
I hear you guys complaining, but all it comes down to is you're making me work. I want to be dumb. That's not gonna play. I'm not going. I mean, you can. It's just this isn't gonna change. Moving forward, you're gonna have to actually read, or accept not doing well. 13. Again, another one we should not have missed.
Oh my god, this is right.
The 7 elements dance for theme. What is the dance move?
Fortnite.
Yes. Again, you have it written down in your notes. This is the dance. What does the L stand for? Literally. That's all you have to write down. And yet, half the kids got this question wrong. And I'm like, it should be written right in your notes. I can't force you to think.
I think I got that one right.
Me too.
14. From Story Mountain and the Voices, which part of the mountain is the
Oh, this
spot
is the
point?
climax.
The Voices attack Sam in his math class and cause his chest to explode, which finally kills him.
Climax.
What is the definition of climax?
The big
OMG moment.
So, when we were reading this in class, this is when you guys literally said, "Oh," and figured out what was going on. You literally had an OMG moment in class. So I put it on here to help you go, oh, I went OMG in class. It has to be climax. Half of you chose like falling action and resolution.
That was Emery.
I can only do so much.
that question right.
And the last one, 15. Which part of Story Mountains is? We find out the story is taking place in the year 2157 in the future about 2 kids, Margie and Tommy.
I remember that
It's
question.
telling you the setting, and the setting always comes in the beginning.
Thank you, Napora.
I remember.
Very beginning of a story is boring, is telling you who's in it.
More beginning stuff.
Again, Thursday's quiz is very similar. You just have to take your time, read the questions. Thursday's quiz, I don't think you get to retake because it is one that every kid takes in 7th grade. Every star, globetrotter, hero is taking the same one. So I don't know if you get to retake that one. That's why I want you to take time and read it. Because if you fail-inate that one, I might not be able to help you. This one, if you fail-inate, now you can go back after class, not now because we're learning, and if you retake it, email me and go, hey, I retook it, and then I will refix your grade. If you don't email me, I am not fixing your grade. If you're not mature enough to send me a message, I'm not going to go do it.
After our next class or whatever, if we do it in that class, can we like come down here and just tell you like after class?
Yeah, as long as it's in an email. Which part of you have to email did you miss? Was it the email or the email?
The email.
There you go. It gets the kids every time.
The E.
Cameron!
Remind.
The only problem with Remind is sometimes the app eats it. So if you send Remind, it's a 50-50 on whether or not your grade gets
What if I
updated.
send it 4 times?
If you want to make sure, what do you have to do?
Email it.
Look at you paying attention. Now, we are going to do this.
I'm first, because you wrote it down on your paper.
Down, spazzy. But, so that you're not just standing and staring at a kid, as that you have less homework, we're going to do this while the others of you are writing down the homework, so you guys have less homework, because I try not to hate you. So going to table of contents. We have this in table of contents and notebook open.
Yeah,
I even got it.
Trying to help out people.
I put it in Bell Alert.
No, it's silly of you. I probably should have written the homework in giant letters.
Oh, I did too.
I even put a number over there, number 3.
I know. It's just
I saw number 8. I mean number 10.
It's always me.
What page number should you be putting it on?
5.
Ugh, looking forward to Thursday's quiz. So on this one, it is due Thursday. I want you to get it done by end of class, but some of you are just going to stare at the wall. So just giving you a heads up, it's due Thursday, but hopefully we get it done by end of class. There are 10 sentences, there's 10 things you're going to answer. We're going to do 5 first, and then we'll do the second 5. So don't freak out, you don't have all 10 yet. Here are your first 5. These first 5, you're just telling me if you agree or disagree and why. So for each one, give me your opinion on why you agree or disagree with it. Because we're going to read an article that talks about a study I found where they interviewed kids who were 13 and in 8th grade and then followed them every year until they turned 23 and graduated college to find out if being popular in junior high impacts your happiness later in life. So we're going to see what your thoughts about being popular are. Number 1, being popular is directly tied to happiness in junior high. Tell me whether you agree or disagree and explain to me why. 2, popular kids are popular for a good reason. So do you think the kids who are popular, there's a good reason for it? Agree, disagree, why? 3, I have never seen a popular kid do something stupid on purpose. So if you agree, that means popular kids never do stupid things on purpose. If you disagree, that means you've seen popular kids do stupid things on purpose.
I'm the populist and popular.
4, anyone could be popular if they really wanted to be. Again, agree, disagree, why? And 5, I would gladly give up anything to be the most popular kid.
Guaranteed.
No, it's
You get to make your choice, others get to make their choices. Alright.
What if I'm
So
wrong?
while you're writing that, we will have our dancing people. Home children, I'm going to pause it for a moment because I'll be blocking the screen so you can't see it anyway. And we don't want to entertain you with kids who may or may not be struggling. All the kids did a great job. Yay.
No.
I mean, the kids who went today did a good job, unless we're talking about the past days.
Hey, I
So
didn't.
up here, I just want to see, by a show of hands, which ones you agree or disagree to sort of get your opinions. So I'm just going to say agree, disagree. I want to sort of get an idea of how you guys feel about it. So number 1, being popular is directly tied to happiness in junior high. If you agree, raise hand. Disagree, raise hand. Interesting. All right. Number 2,
So sad. when
popular kids are popular for a good reason. Agree? Disagree? Works for me. 3, I have never seen a popular kid do something stupid on purpose. Agree?
Bro.
Disagree?
What?
You don't get to judge what they've seen.
I'm just kidding.
4, anyone could be popular if they really wanted to be. Agree? Disagree? And 5, I would gladly give up anything to be the most popular kid. Agree? Disagree? Interesting. I always thought popularity was so important. Alright. So, I'm going to go to the next screen to give you guys the next 5 questions. Good job. So we're going to read I'm going to read article to you, and then we'll go through and talk about it. But for article, here are the next 5 questions. 6 and 7 are going to be your opinion again. What do you think we're going to find out in the article? Where it says being cool in middle school is not good for your future. What is it you would expect that we're going to learn and find out? 7, your personal opinion on popularity. How do you feel about people who are popular? And then 8, 9, and 10 are more of your basic questions. 8, what surprised you as we went through and read? 9, find an opinion in the article. 10, find a fact in the article. So hopefully that can help you out from there. So those questions 6 and 10. I will go through and do reedy bits, and then we'll sort of see how well you do from there. All right. Did you get it?
Yep.
Okay.
My kid over there.
I was worried. Being cool in middle school is not good for your future. According to the article, by the way, we are in middle school right now. According to them, like 7th and 8th grade is middle school, so just don't freak out. They keep saying you guys are middle school. Don't be judging. For those who reign in middle school hallways, it does not get better, according to a recent study. Researchers from the University of Virginia looked at the life outcomes for those who are considered popular in middle school. Those who are more likely to engage in adult behaviors at a young age, and found they were less likely to have healthy relationships 10 years later or to have found success. The study followed 184 adolescents from communities in the southeastern region of the country, starting when they were 13 and ending at 23. Through a series of interviews and surveys, the researchers found that the cool kids in middle school were more likely to have engaged in romantic behaviors at young ages, hugging and kissing in junior high, participated in delinquent activity, vaping in the bathroom, and picked friends based on their levels of physical attractiveness, meaning they refused to hang out with ugly people. So they're saying that was a trend they found with the kids who were cool in junior high and middle school. That seemed to be the things that happened more often. They got into relationships more often, made more poor choices, and then along those same lines, only hung out with people that they thought were attractive. No uggos. However, by high school, their peers were less... I hang out with uggos all the time. Ask my kids. However, by high school, their peers were less impressed by such behavior, and the popularity of cool middle school kids tended to fade away. Years later, the study found that kids who were popular in middle school were also more likely to have engaged in criminal behavior and had more trouble managing their social relationships. So the more popular in junior high, the better chance you have of being arrested later in life. It appears that while so-called cool teens' behavior might have been linked to early popularity, over time, these teens needed more and more extreme behaviors to try to appear cool, at least to a subgroup of other teens, the author Dr. Joseph P. Allen, psychology professor, said. So they become involved in more serious criminal behavior and alcohol and drug use as adolescence progressed. These previously cool teens appeared less competent, socially and otherwise, than their less cool peers by the time they reached young adulthood. Quick pause on that. Going back to the one that said, you guys have noticed popular kids or cool kids try to do stupid things on purpose? Have you noticed that?
No. Yes.
Those of you who have those kids escalated those things, those activities they've done, as in like they try to do worse or more of it?
Every day.
So that's what they're saying, is that apparently those kids who get popular through poor choices, kids get tired of those poor choices, so they have to keep doing worse and worse stuff to stay popular. And I guess they're saying that leads to them getting arrested and doing criminal stuff because they're used to doing bad things and being popular for it. So that was the thinking in the article. The doctor elaborated on these developmental struggles. He says they, the formerly cool kids, are doing more extreme things to try to act cool, bragging about drinking 3 six-packs on a Saturday night. They're still living in their middle school world. The study suggested that these students' interpersonal relationships suffered over time because instead of focusing on building stable friendships during a critical developmental period, the cool kids were focused on debauchery and superficial behaviors. Big words. Debauchery is when you see a kid do something bad because they think doing bad stuff is fun. Debauchery is doing bad things because you think it's fun. Superficial are when you just don't really connect to people, when you're friends with someone just because they're attractive, but not because they're a good person. Unfortunately, that's where I have to end. But fortunately for you, homework is still due on Thursday. There's all the questions if you needed them. They're also on Canvas. Other than that, go out and enjoy not being cool.
I will.
Cool, if that helps.